Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Cartoon Network hit us with a bunch of news during the Annecy International Animation and Film Festival, almost as much as Disney gave us at D23. And artists don't get properly credited for the Borderlands movie? Well, that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your Guildmaster, Rick Perry, 3D printed from head to toe.
And I am your Guildmaster, Baron Kane, and I'm pretty sure AI stepped in somewhere and took over my
that would
design.
Explain a lot, yeah.
A lot.
Speaking of not crediting your artists...
Oof.
One of our guild officers submitted something to talk about early this week, so let's go ahead and get started with that. The Borderlands movie is a thing that happened.
It is. I've heard that it did happen.
I've heard nothing good about it, honestly.
Same. I've heard some people half-heartedly trying to defend it, but it was very half-hearted.
Yeah, there's nobody who's like, no, this movie's amazing. It's more, there's a couple people out there who are like, it's bad, but maybe it doesn't deserve as much hate as it's getting. But nobody is like, yeah, this movie's really good. But the thing that we want to talk about comes from an article on PC Gamer. The rigger for Claptrap, the person who did the 3D rigging, claims neither he nor the model artists were credited in the movie. Which it's bad enough that you've got a terrible movie with... A lot of people are saying bad casting. I don't think it's bad casting as much as the casting that was chosen didn't put the thought into it that could have been put thought into it, or maybe it was poorly directed. Because I feel like everyone who was casted could have given a good performance for the character they were cast as. They just didn't.
Sure.
The film's Rotten Tomato score right now is less than 3%, which is terrible.
Ouch. Ouch.
I don't think you could get much further from Certified Fresh than that.
No.
But on top of it being like either poorly cast or poorly directed or just an overall bad movie, whatever you want to call it, to not credit the people who were involved, part of me wants to say that like good for them for not having to have their name on it. With it being that bad. But at the same time, the guys who aren't being credited are probably some of the few people who actually did good work on this movie. I mean, just from the trailers, Claptrap looks good. The model looks good. The way he's moving looks good. So, like, those people should get their due.
I agree. Whether it's a bad movie or not, someone should be able to look at those designs and be like, you know, they did all right.
But yeah, I mean, the only good thing that has been said about the movie that I have found really was from Randy Pitchford himself, like the head of Gearbox, you know, the guys who made the game, said there's finally a version of Borderlands that he can show his mom and that like she will enjoy. And it's like, I don't know if that's high praise, really.
Yeah. No, I'm I don't know. Again, I feel like there's just people like trying real hard to make it okay, and it's just not. Yeah.
So we're just gonna go ahead and put his name out there. Robbie Reed deserves to be credited for the rigging for the models. I don't have the name of the person who actually worked on the models, who also did not get credited, unfortunately. But Robbie Reed is easy enough because the handle he uses online is Robbie Reed the Rigger. So that should be easy enough to find if you want to, you know, go find him and be like, hey, you did all right on that movie, that terrible movie. You actually did all right on it. I don't know. You'd think the movie industry would eventually learn after being struck so many times to just, it's not a difficult concept to pay your artist. and
Right.
credit your artist, regardless of what that art is, be it acting, writing, voice acting, whatever the art is. All you got to do is pay the person and give them credit. It's not a difficult concept, and I know why they have such a hard time with it. It's because of greed.
Right, exactly.
But I don't know. You'd think they'd learn eventually that they'd make more money overall and in the long run if they just stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm. I think that the reason why they are not stopping is because no one's giving them any kind of, like, no repercussions. They're doing what they do. They might get sued, but, you know, what's that? They end up just paying the artists what they would have paid them anyways. Or maybe they won't sue, and then they get away with it. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason why it's happening, is because no one's doing anything about it.
Yeah, that's too true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not much we can do about it except to get the word out there. In this particular case, I don't think there's going to be anybody who was like, you know what, I was going to go see that Borderlands movie, but now I'm not going to because they didn't pay their rigor. Because people probably weren't going to go see this movie anyway. I don't think there's going to be any repercussions to the point where they go, oh man, we made less movie because people didn't come and see this movie because we didn't pay this person.
And let me be clear too. When I say repercussions, I mean legal repercussions. I mean, there needs to be some kind of criminal charges dropped on these people who are not paying their people. Yeah. That's theft. That's wage theft. Literally wage theft. So yeah, they need to have some kind of legal repercussions dropped on them.
Unfortunately, when it comes to legality, they probably have some sort of loophole. Like maybe this guy worked for some sort of company, and then that company got credited because, you know, the people who were making the movie hired that company. Mm-hmm. Or something like that, to where, or there was something in a contract that got overlooked or something. They've probably got some sort of loophole or something like that where they don't.
I'm
have
sure, and that's still something that people should be looking at, and it should be something that people are holding them accountable for. If they are making contracts like that and making it so that people aren't getting what they deserve because of a little loophole or whatever, then they still need to be held accountable. They need to drop the full weight of whatever we got on them to be like, well, you know, fucking stop.
Right. So I guess in this case, SAG-AFTRA get after it. I don't know if a rigger would be a member of SAG-AFTRA. I don't know I don't think he would have the lawyers to get after it. But you know, he's got to get with somebody to try to get after it.
I think that they have their own union, but it's not SAG-AFTRA.
Sure.
I believe that IATSE? IATSE?
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't put a lot of looking into stuff, but it's it's the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. So I have no doubt that would be who covers riggers.
Sure. That would make sense to me. I don't know if it would be any different just because it's digital, but like it might be possible that there's some specific union for digital artists. Mm-hmm. Well, no, because the VFX union, which did exist, apparently, I'm looking at an article here that came out on August 6th that says that the VFX workers union unanimously voted to unionize with IATSE.
Okay, so they are part of that?
Yeah, or it seems that way. I don't know. Honestly, the whole thing's kind of over our heads, you know, as a podcast.
Well, but I will say that I can almost guarantee you that there is. I can guarantee you that there is a union that covers these guys.
Yeah,
and they should probably be stepping up.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see what they do. I mean, they might. Who knows? This might be a pick your battle type of situation, and they might choose not to take this one on because of the movie that it is. But I don't know. They should be doing it either way. But in other news about terrible movies, I watched a trailer right before we started recording that you sent me earlier today. And with this new trailer, my opinion for Kraven the Hunter has not changed.
The movie, specifically.
Yes.
Not the character.
No, not the character. Well, to be fair, this trailer didn't change my opinion of the character either.
Fair. Okay, fair. That's fair. Yeah, man. Okay, so here's my opinion on this whole thing. And I'm going to preface this like I do every time. If you enjoy it, please enjoy it. There are so few things in this world that can bring people joy and enjoyment. Do not let my lack of enjoyment for something throw shade on you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to judge you. I will celebrate your joy of this thing. Just hear me out. What is it with Sony trying to turn all of the Sinister Six guys into essentially heroes or anti-heroes or whatever?
That's a great question.
And also they're apparently becoming all, super powered because of some radioactive animal bite or something.
Oh, yeah, because they've got to tie the story together that way for some reason.
Like, yeah, I don't know if anybody's watched it yet, but, the rhino is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he got bit by a radioactive rhino.
Mm-mm.
But I'm not 100% sure that he didn't just get stabbed by a rhino horn that had some kind of quality about it, though.
Right.
Because it did look like it was budding, like the rhino, quote-unquote, suit is budding from, like, this wound on his hand or something like that. And it's like, come on, man. So at worst, Rhino was some dude, some goon who, yes, don't refer to our previous episodes when I use that word. But he was just some goon that put on a suit and couldn't take it off.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, yeah, I think he was strong. I think it gave him strength or whatever. It was like an experimental suit, whatever. Do I think that kind of thing will fly in modern day MCU? No. I think the best thing we got is the Rhino from like the Ultimate Universe, the Rhino that we got in The Amazing Spider-Man. A lot of people gave that movie shit, but that's kind of the Rhino that we're looking for right now.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that terrible, especially for the modern day superhero movie. At the end of the day, it was still a suit. The suit was still giving him powers. It did make him, big and imposing.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Exactly. But then, we have Kraven, who, look, don't get me wrong. I think that having a superhero who is there to save animals that are being poached and all that stuff, yeah, sure. I think that's great. That we need that, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's the exact opposite of what Kraven is.
Mm-hmm.
Kraven is a poacher.
Yep, absolutely the bad guy.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
And if their whole purpose is to be trying to build the Sinister Six, right? So they're trying to get to a point where they've got this team of supervillains to take on Spider-Man. It's going to be a real reach to get us to root against these guys if they're all actually the good guys.
Right, exactly. I had a hard time. I legit kind of had a hard time rooting against the Vulture.
Honestly, the Vulture was the best one of all of them, as far as making me believe he's a villain. But even then, like you said, it's a bit of a struggle.
In fact, actually, there's only one thing that he did that made me think, oh shit, they just really want me to think he's a villain, is when he vaporized that dude, the original Shocker. But then again, at the same time, it's like, okay, so the dude he vaporized, though, was being extremely reckless and hurting people that didn't need to be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the villain? Is he a villain? And then Nepo Baby comes in and starts messing up his operation. In case you don't know, Nepo Baby is Spider-Man.
Yeah, we got it.
And I fucking love Spider-Man, but the Spider-Man we got was very much a, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to give you this essentially an Iron Man suit. Go ahead, fuck around, find out, have a good time. It really had that energy of, yeah, my dad's super rich and I kind of want to start my own business, so can I get a big loan from you and see how I do? And I fucked up a few times, sure, but, I still had enough money to be able to stay afloat.
Oh my God.
And I'm right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Yeah.
You're not even a little bit.
So, yeah. So, and I think the reason why everybody liked it when, everybody forgot who Spider-Man was and he had to go and put on that latex suit, that, the stretchy suit, is because now he is like us again. He is poor. He is, not riding on the coattails of some rich guy that's giving him whatever he needs to survive. He is back. That is what made Spider-Man awesome.
Yeah.
Is because he was just some poor Jewish guy living in New York, and he was making his way, saving people, by pluck.
Yeah.
And, superpowers, but still, I don't get it.
He definitely should not have.
I don't know how this turned into a
stuff.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know how this turned into a Spider-Man rant, but there we are.
Because, it was always going to be one. If it's Kraven, it's all about how Sony's fucking up Spider-Man in the live action side. Yeah. They did pretty well with him in the video game. He wasn't in it for super long.
The video game is so good.
But they did pretty good with Kraven in the video game.
Yeah. I did. I think I've talked about it on this show before.
You did, yeah.
About my idea for what they should have did with Spider-Man 3?
I believe so, yeah. With Kraven?
Just to recap, Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi. This isn't what we would have gotten from Sam Raimi, I don't think. But, Kraven, right? Starts out the movie, he's hunting down the Lizard. You remember the Lizard? Kurt Connors from all the other movies. He's finally turned himself into the Lizard, and back that up. Spider-Man is fighting the Lizard, but he knows it's Kurt Connors, and he keeps letting him get away because he doesn't want to hurt him. Mm-hmm. Jonah Jameson capitalizes. He's like, I need someone to track down the Lizard, and we're going to make a big deal about it. Cue in Kraven, who is a, YouTube kind of reality show star who hunts things, who is actually legit good, who comes in town, starts to hunt down the Lizard. Spider-Man has to fight the Lizard and Kraven. Maybe the Black Cat shows up. I don't know. We need a cleavage for this one. Anyways, so they do that thing. Great movie. That would have been awesome.
Which is kind of what they did for the video game a little bit.
Which I think is crazy. Because I've been saying that since fucking Spider-Man 3 didn't happen. Oh, man.
Oh, so we're just ignoring Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 altogether and saying, like, it didn't happen.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So we never saw James Franco Goblin, or...
Who?
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, he was in the first and second one. So, yeah, James Franco Goblin? Crazy. Hold on, I need to figure out where my lie's at.
Because he never goblined until the third one.
No goblin. Nope.
All right, fair enough.
Honestly, James Franco would have been great as the Goblin if that's what they, did. I feel like, though, that if Sony was to be like, hey, let's do a James Franco Goblin, they would have made him some weird, like, air snowboarder or something with hockey pads, and I just don't think that would work.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So,
yeah, they probably would have cast somebody like that kid from that '70s show for Venom or something like that.
For Venom, Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
Eddie Brock, the big muscular guy.
Yeah,
the one that they go out of their way to show him working out and almost everything because he's like almost some like roided out meathead.
Well, that's just the way Sony goes,
Crazy. It's crazy. I don't think I would like that.
It would be terrible.
Terrible.
That has been a running thing on this podcast, just dunking on Sony for what they do to Spider-Man.
Yeah. At least they didn't make him dance.
You gotta stop. I can't.
Commit to the bit now, Rick. Do it.
You're right. They could have put him in some, super cringy dance scene where nobody else can hear the music except for Peter, and just...
have you ever seen those videos where they show someone in concert or something like that, and they take away all the music and they put in like the feet shuffling, I want to see that, except with that scene that would have been made if it had been made. Did they do it?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find it.
Yeah, that's old.
Well, remember, it doesn't exist to me. So.
Yeah, fair enough. To rub some dirt in your eye, kid.
Good times.
Bad times. What are you talking about? All right, moving on to something I actually enjoy instead of just enjoying making fun of.
Right.
Call to the Lamb.
Kraven. Oh.
As the day of recording, Call to the Lamb just came out with not only a great big free update, but also a little $6 or $7 DLC. So Call to the Lamb players who've been playing for a while, there's a lot to look forward to. I love this game. If you haven't played it, please go check it out. There's a bunch of sales going on around it because of the new big update and because of the new DLC. Basically, I think you can get like the entire bundle where you get the game and all the DLCs and all the free updates for like 20 some bucks, I think it is right now. So definitely not a bad deal for all the content that's in this game. Yeah. The big update that came through with the free update is, as of now, the game is now local co-op.
Okay.
So you can now play through the entire game with two people, every section of it, where one of you is the Lamb that we're all familiar with, and now there is a new character, the Ram, which is basically more or less a palette-swapped Lamb with a few little design changes that the second player gets to play as. I have not actually dove into the game to find out if there are any other changes for the second character or how they explain it within the lore. But either way, I'm excited because I've been kind of playing the game on 2-player since the beginning anyway, where I kind of go in and handle all the dungeon delving, Twitch reaction type combat, rogue elements and all that. And my wife is handling, the base building, cult managing mechanics, and we just kind of pass the controller back and forth. And now we'll be able to go in and kind of do both parts together, which I think is fun.
It's really cool. I've played the game a little bit. I think it's cute. It looks very well done. I don't know if it's my cup of tea. However, it does look cool.
Yeah, I love this game. I'll be playing it for years still, as far as I'm concerned. I actually recently, there was a Kickstarter for comic books for the Cult of the Lamb, like an entire series, and I contributed to that Kickstarter. And I've already gotten some of the PDFs. I'm just waiting for them to release the physical ones.
I will tell you this. If they release a cartoon like the video I sent you earlier on TikTok...
Have you seen the full version of that, by the way?
No.
Oh, it's on YouTube. It's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, they need to release that cartoon with that animation, with that writing. They're obviously making fun of the game a little bit, but they need that.
Yeah, that would do well.
I mean, I'll eat poop if you put it in a bowl.
Devolver themselves promoted it. Oh, so yeah. I don't think they did it. I'm pretty sure it was like a fan made thing, but they promoted it.
But if they reposted it or something, that's still. Well, that's just like fucking. The whole fart buckle thing going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
When Donald Glover reposted that, he did his own, little animation, but it was, in tribute to Fart Buckle. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a great deal.
But, yeah, not only are we getting that free update that makes the whole game co-op, and there is workarounds. So technically it's only couch co-op, you have to be on the same machine. There are workarounds you can do where you stream the game live using Steam, screen share, and then your friend can still play remotely. Okay. It's not official, so you have to look up ways to do that online. But then we have the actual paid DLC that's coming out, and the paid DLC is going to get you an entire comic called The Pilgrim. You get bonus pages to that comic that were not originally released with that comic. You get 2 entire new quests that are involved with new followers that you can get. They have 5 new follower forms, 2 new outfits, and 5 new decorations that all get added into the game, as well as some twists on some mini games, some new options in combat. And this is all on top of a bunch of stuff that got added in the new free update. So there's a lot of new stuff when it comes to the game right now.
Gotcha.
So go check it out. It's a good time. Other new games coming out. I know we talked about the new Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom when they announced it at the Nintendo Direct. Some new things have happened. There's a new trailer for it, which have shown some new characters, including Zelda's dad, the king. And it shows Zelda getting a horse in the trailer, which is pretty cool. But they've also announced a couple of pre-order bonuses for the game itself at Best Buy and GameStop. GameStop having a cloth poster for the game.
Ooh.
With art that looks like it's ripped right out of the trailers. And Best Buy having an acrylic standee, which is, a little bit more 3D, not completely 3D with it being acrylic, but it's pretty much the exact same art. Yeah.
Sure.
But either way, I'm super excited for this game. The new mechanics, they aren't making this just another Zelda game with like a palette swapped Link. Like, Zelda does not play the same way that Link does with the sword and the shield and a bunch of different items. Honestly, the mechanic they're using feels a little Breath of the Wild to me. Where she's using the wand and like she copies objects and then can like make as many copies of that particular object as she wants for combat and puzzle solving and stuff like that. It seems to be kind of a direct sequel to possibly A Link to the Past, if I'm not reading into the trailers that I've seen too much. Well, I think A Link Between Worlds was the direct one to that, so it might be Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds, and now this one, kind of all feeding in to one right after the other. But it looks fun, and, now we've got bonuses if you want to pre-order it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I would be really keen to play.
Which isn't, any news to anybody, me or anybody listening, that like, oh, a new Zelda game's coming out and the guys who run Casters Guild want to play it.
The guys who are in Casters Guild who are, the demographic for new Zelda games.
Yeah. big reveal. They actually want to play the new Zelda game.
Hey!
And they aren't among those people who are like, I'm not going to play it because it's a girl protagonist.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to turn people on their heads once we get to a certain part of this podcast. So be prepared. I don't even know if you're prepared, but I don't know.
I'm not. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about, so I am not prepared at all.
I don't think you'll be surprised, but yeah, I don't think you're prepared.
Okay. Well, then here's me possibly walking right into it. I don't think this is it, but there is now a teaser trailer for Squid Game Season 2.
Wiggums.
I was a fan of the original Squid Game. I was a little late to the party as far as when I watched it, but when I did watch it, I really enjoyed it. I've even watched a lot of the stuff to come out of it, including that like reality TV show thing that Netflix did that was kind of like Squid Game, and
that was fun.
Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. And there isn't a whole lot to see in this new trailer. It's more of a teaser. Honestly, it just kind of shows some of the characters that are going to be involved in Season 2. And we all knew it was coming when we saw the, little Easter egg at the end of Season 1. We knew Season 2 was going to be coming eventually. And honestly, even without that, just with how successful it was, there's no way Netflix was going to fucking drop it. Well, I say that, but Netflix is also notorious for doing that, like getting something like extremely successful and then like dropping it.
Yeah, you're right.
But either way, we're getting to Season 2. It's coming December 26th, and I'm hype.
Hell yeah.
I'll be watching it.
I will too watch it.
That's not it for Netflix, though. Netflix has also put the green light on a new Ghostbusters series.
If it's not a follow-up to the real Ghostbusters TV show that we got, I don't want it.
Well, here's what we know. We know it's animated.
It is.
We know that Elliot Kalan has been hired as the showrunner.
Which is cool. He did some of the writing for Mystery Science Theater, the Netflix one.
Yeah. Let's see. It is supposed to be a 3D animated series. It says here on an article I'm reading off of Geek Tyrant, it says that the exact plot details are still under wraps, but it will be tonally in line with the recent Ghostbusters films. So that would be the sequel we got with Ghost Egon and the newer Frozen Empire.
Okay with that.
Yeah,
I did like the new Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, did you dig Frozen Empire? I don't think we ever talked about it.
No, we have not. I have not seen it all the way through, so I'm not
Fair enough.
qualified to comment.
I watched it on Netflix. I thought it was okay. I mean, like, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was amazing. I was like, that was a Netflix Ghostbusters movie. But I didn't have a ton to complain about. I felt like there were places that they could have gone that would have made the movie better that they just chose not to go. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. But either way, yeah, like you've said, this is now technically the third animated Ghostbusters series to happen. There was the real Ghostbusters, which you referenced, 140 episodes, was syndicated. It was pretty great. And then there was Extreme Ghostbusters, which only had 40 episodes and was syndicated.
But
But
there is another Ghostbusters cartoon.
I mean, are we talking about the one that like has nothing to do with the movies that almost made them change their name?
Yes.
Yeah, that does exist. You're right.
The one that I watched religiously.
Wait, did you really?
Yes.
This is some Baron lore that is dropping that I was not familiar with.
Yep. The magical girl sequence that they go through to get dressed in their Ghostbusters gear was amazing. I fucking loved it. Yeah, I was a fan of that. But as a child, it always confused me as to why it was the way it was. Because it's like, this isn't Ghostbusters. But then I watched the real Ghostbusters and I was like, okay, this is kind of like Ghostbusters.
Right.
But yeah, funny stuff. It was that show, the Ghostbusters show, that before they even announced it on, officially, like through the years, I always thought that when I was really, really young, I thought that Bill Murray did the voice of Garfield.
Okay.
Because I thought Bill Murray did the voice of Peter Venkman in the cartoon.
Right.
So, and I wonder if that had anything to do with Bill Murray doing the voice of Garfield when they did that live action.
The Tale of Two Kitties or whatever.
I
feel like it had to have. Somebody was like, it would be really funny.
But yeah, if you guys ever get a chance, track down that Ghostbusters cartoon that I'm talking about. It is definitely a product of its time, fair warning, but it is goofy. Watch it. Tell me what you think. I always wanted the car. In that.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yep, as a kid, again, I was a big fan of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and this was really close to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
All right, well, if you're wanting to get some really cool merch from these shows, I don't know where you can get the best PKE meter, but I do know where you can get the best lightsaber.
Yeah.
And it's at Level Up Sabers.
Yeah. Could you use an awesome lightsaber for cosplay, dueling, or home decoration? Check out Level Up Sabers, the only lightsaber guaranteed better than a stick. And with lots of fairly priced options, including baselit and Xenopixel, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for without breaking the bank.
Every Level Up Saber comes equipped with color change, gesture controls, volume control, sound fonts, and flash on clash, with the baselit options being strong enough to duel with, and the Xenopixel options adding even more cool effects. To check them out and help Casters Guild, click our link in the description. So D23 happened.
That is a thing that happened, yep.
So a lot of new shows and movies got announced at D23, or we got more news about them. Like, we all knew Moana 2 was coming, for example, but we did get a new trailer for Moana 2.
Just to let the listeners know, we are just pretty much reading off of Mashable.com because we didn't go to D23.
No, we were not invited.
So
we are relying on other reporters like Mashable and a couple other websites.
But Moana 2 looks great. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I feel like Disney has like this terrible history with like direct-to-video sequels. And that's not what Moana 2 feels like.
Correct.
This feels like a proper movie.
So my question is Alan Tudyk coming back as the chicken?
There will be riots in the streets if he does not.
Did you see Alan Tudyk showed up on Dropout?
I did not.
Yeah. He was on an episode
Oh,
of...
no, you're right. Yes, I did. On, actually.
Yep. The first time, I didn't know it was him. The second time, I 100% knew it was him.
Yeah, I had it both times. But that's just because...
The first one was so unrecognizable to me for some reason.
I've listened to so much of his stuff at this point. I don't think there's a single voice he can do that I haven't heard from somewhere.
Nice.
But yeah, but the Moana 2 is on top of the live action remake of the first one,
which let me tell you,
that has already started production.
Not looking forward to any live action things they do. I'm just over it. I get it. You really want to keep your fucking licensing to these things. We get it.
Look, I was hating on the live action stuff, and to be honest with you, I still am. But my kid loves them. Like, I show her Beauty and the Beast, the animated one, and Beauty and the Beast, the live action, and she only wants to watch the live action one.
Well, and I'm telling you, it's because she doesn't see the corporate evil behind these live action remakes.
No, of course not. Like, she also loves the live action Aladdin. Like, she doesn't want to watch the original animated one. She's always like, can I watch... Actually, she asks to watch Jasmine, is what she asked for. And then she's like, I want to watch the real one. And I'm like, well, first of all, this is the real one. Like, this live action shit, this is the fake afterwards.
Crap.
Yeah. But that's how she says it. She loves that. So I don't know what it is about... Like, when I was a kid, I would jump at the chance to watch a cartoon versus live action, and apparently she's not alone. Like, kids nowadays, for some reason, they like the live action stuff versus the animated stuff. So in a way, I can't fault Disney for giving the kids what they want.
Gotcha. Actually, you know what? Would you mind, since we're kind of running out of time, you mind if I rapid fire a few of these and then you can rapid fire with me?
Sure.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Snow White live action. I could go a fuck less. Yeah,
there's a bunch of controversy around it, but honestly, the controversy around it is like the stupid controversy where people are getting upset about it because they want something to get upset about it, calling it woke or whatever. But
well, if it was woke, we would have again. Yeah, and I keep saying this. Like, I don't know a single little person, so it's not like I'm advocating for someone that I know, but. We could have had little people in here doing. They
exist, and they are looking for acting jobs, and it kind of sucks that they keep getting passed over.
It sucks that they can only apparently get fantasy jobs, but I mean, fuck, if we have room for them, put them in there.
But people are getting mad because, like, they cast a non-white actress as Snow White, and they can fuck themselves.
Oh, right. Oh, I mean, God forbid, though, the Zionist Gal Gadot is in there, and anyways. So then we got Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, live action remake for Lilo and Stitch.
I don't hate it. I think I mean, I'm not generally a live action remake kind of guy, but.
So this is the one that might change your mind.
No, this is the one I might make an exception for.
Fair enough.
Incredibles 3. Yeah, I'm down. Fuck,
yeah.
Give me all the Incredibles you can give me. I'm good with that.
I've not seen anything bad out of Incredibles yet. Honestly, Pixar. I won't say Pixar can do no wrong, because they've definitely done wrong, but Pixar is pretty good.
Sure. Toy Story 5. Who has to die for them to stop making these?
Fucking this is where I eat my own words that I said just a second ago, because fucking Pixar. Fucking stop with the Toy Story. Please. I get that it's for the merchandising. I get that it's for the merchandising, but please. Please stop.
Yeah. This is like one of those few cartoons where they're like, oh my god, all the money we make off of toys because they're toys. Ah! Of course, I will say that the promotional image I saw for this was Andy underneath the covers, or someone underneath the covers, looking at an iPad while the toys looked on horrified. And I'm like, what the fuck is that kid watching? He's going to go blind. He needs to stop.
It's not about what he's watching. It's about that the toys are afraid they're going to be replaced by an iPad.
Right. They could have chose a better image.
Yes. Agreed.
Frozen 3. Who has to die for us to stop watching these?
A lot of people, because I'm going to be honest, I liked the first one. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those parents who is like, you know what? If she's going to watch something, over and over again, this is actually decent. I don't hate Frozen. Frozen 2, I actually really enjoyed. I liked it better than the first one.
I will say this:
if that trend continues, Frozen 3, I'm on board.
Frozen does stick with the trend of the really good Disney movies that have been coming out lately are the ones with the badass soundtracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
this is why Wish failed so fucking hard.
Yes, exactly. Zootopia 2. I'm down for it, especially with Kike Kwan being in it.
We all know that Judy Hopps Lover 69 is chomping at the bit.
Oh, chomping at the bit. Is he still on the run?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor guy. Next up, Skeleton Crew. You want to know what's fucking crazy?
I would love to know.
I ran this.
Okay.
I ran this game. Kids living on some kind of, planet in the galaxy that finds this ship and they kind of get away. There is a lot of differences, granted.
Sure.
But yeah, like the kids they find the ship, and in the ship is a holocron of a Jedi who teaches them how to use the Force. So really, what I ran was a mix of this and Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. But I'm excited to see this.
Look, any Star Wars property that doesn't involve a Skywalker, I'm so fucking down.
Sure. Agatha all along. Sure, I'm down. I'm excited to see it. I really liked the WandaVision show.
The best. It's the second best show to come out of the MCU is WandaVision.
Yeah.
If Loki's number one, WandaVision's number two. And as long as they aren't just doing it as some sort of cash grab just to make it, as they have been known to do with some MCU properties, it should be excellent.
Yep. And they did like a whole Ballad of the Witches Road where they got up there and they sang in front of the crowd, which, cool. But they did some snippets of the Fantastic Four. Same snippets. Well, no, there were different snippets, but they showed the same trailer that they showed at SDCC.
Yes.
So,
but nothing really new that we didn't already learn from SDCC.
Right. Joseph Quinn in the Fantastic Four suit, though, they did show, which looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Daredevil Born Again snippet. It looks like Daredevil.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. It looks like Daredevil.
If you liked Daredevil, the Netflix series, you're probably going to like this too.
Yeah. Avatar 3. Again, who has to die to stop making these movies?
This is one I agree with. These movies are way too long. This is one that this is another one that my daughter does watch over and over again is Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Okay.
And it's so fucking long, and I hate that she watches it over and over again. I hate that movie. I don't like it.
Yeah.
This one's gonna come out, and she's gonna love this one too, and I'm gonna have to watch it over and over again. Ugh.
Next up is Freaky Friday 2, Freakier Friday.
Who asked for this?
I don't know who asked for this, but I'm not saying no.
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan looks great. Like, she had a rough spot there for a little while.
Yeah. She looks like, she's actually eating real food and taking care of herself.
Right. And Jamie Lee Curtis, it apparently is going through some kind of renaissance where she's just showing up in everything. Which, again, I don't hate.
I feel like she either got bored or ran out of money, and I'm leaning more towards the former.
Right, yeah. With the movies that she's been in, I don't think that she's running out of money anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks fun. We'll see how that goes. Tron Ares. Big news from that is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are doing the music.
Yeah, which fucking awesome. I mean, like whether the movie's good or not, I'll probably listen to the soundtrack a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff Bridges is back again, so there's that.
A show called Monster Jam. It's about monster trucks. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's doing it. Move on.
Yeah.
Win or Lose TV show about a softball team. Looks cool, but I don't know a lot about it yet. I believe that this is... No, that's not what I thought it was. Dream Productions is the one that I'm excited for.
Okay.
Dream Productions TV show. It's set in the Inside Out world, in that it's set in Riley's head, and they are going to like the movie studio where her dreams are made.
Yeah, which is honestly one of the coolest sequences from the first movie.
Right. So I think that's really fucking cool. Elio, I don't remember anything about this one. Do you?
So essentially, have you ever heard oh man, now I'm forgetting his name. Tom. There's a comedian, music artist who made a song about not working at particular places, but he wishes he did so he could be rude to the people who keep coming up to him and trying to act like he works places. But in that song, basically, he accidentally, like a bunch of aliens accidentally mistake him as the ambassador for Earth, and he tells them to fuck off.
That's funny.
That is essentially the concept of Elio, where this kid mistakenly gets called the ambassador for Earth, except he doesn't tell them to fuck off. So.
Gotcha. Next is Hoppers. Apparently, it's a spin-off of Zootopia about all of the Judy Hopps. What do you mean?
It's not quite it.
What? Why is there a beaver? What's going on?
Whoa. You gotta be careful.
I'm just saying, it's looking right at me.
No, this one's about a girl who gets her brain put into the body of a robot beaver.
Oh, I can see it now. It's done by the people who do We Bare Bears, and I was wondering why that animation looked so familiar.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, she drops into robot beavers. That's weird. Anyways, Mufasa, the Lion King.
I mean, it's happening. Look, the first quote unquote live action, it's not live action, the 3D animated Lion King remake that came out, I didn't hate it, you know what I mean? Donald Glover, Seth Rogen, I think kind of saved that movie, but I didn't love it either, and I feel like that's how I'm going to feel about this too.
Yeah, at least I could see them smiling.
Yeah.
Facial fucking expressions now. Next up is Ironheart. I'm excited to see that because of Parker Robbins, the Hood. Riri Williams, I've already been introduced to, so I'm, excited to see her back, but excited to see how they do the Hood, because the Hood is one of my favorite villains. But they didn't really do much of anything there. They saw some unreleased footage. But yeah. Andor season 2, I'm excited. They're de-aging people in this one. I believe Ben Mendelsohn is being de-aged to do his thing. But Alan Tudyk is coming back as K2SO. That alone has me on board. Not that I wasn't on board before. I'm more on board now.
Yes.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. Big talking about the movie. It's in production, so it's happening right now. So yep. So that's cool. Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 2. I guess I'm glad the first season did okay enough to get a second season. I still haven't seen it.
Me either. Honestly, when it comes to Percy Jackson, the only thing I ever saw was the first movie. Mm-hmm. I never read any of the books. I didn't watch the show. And it's not like I watched the first movie and hated it. It's just I watched the first movie and thought this isn't really my cup of tea. So I haven't really sought anything out after that. But I know it's really popular. I know a lot of people really love it.
Sure. I love the books. So there's that. Yay. And I think I got us through it.
Yeah, that's all, everything as far as the TV shows and movies that got announced.
And since I know that you are a park fan, if you wanted to hop through a few of those things on the park.
Absolutely. And I've only been to the parks a couple times, but I like to fantasize about going to the parks. And,
sure.
I like the idea that when I get to go to the parks again someday, that there's going to be more cool stuff there for me. Universal was kind of knocking it out of the park with all of their new worlds that they were opening between the Mario world and the Dark Universe and all this stuff that they were doing. So I feel like it was only a matter of time before Disney quote unquote clapped back. But once again, we weren't invited to D3, so I'm getting both of these right off of Travel and Leisure. But starting with the Magic Kingdom, we're getting 2 new Cars rides, which me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Cars franchise, but I have friends who have little kids who Cars is their favorite thing, who are people I might end up with the parks with sometime in the future. So, hey, there's that. Mm-hmm. Then we're getting Villains Land, which I know a lot of people are really excited about that, especially people who I will be going to the parks with. There's a lot of Disney movies where villains are like the best part of the movie. I was also kind of excited about the fact that we're going to get villains who I didn't expect. Like the first villain voice you hear when they're like announcing this land is Frollo's from Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I was like, wow, I did not expect that at all.
I thought it was going to be John Smith.
Jesus. No, I mean, you're not wrong. That now we're going to get a new nighttime parade. I personally never really was a parade type of guy. I would let other people go to the parade and make the line short and go ride some rides. But if anything, that means another parade that'll make the line short.
Yeah, fair.
Over in Animal Kingdom, they are dropping Dinoland in favor for this new thing they're calling Tropical Americas, which is kind of like a Latin America land. They are getting a new, basically Indiana Jones ride that's replacing the dinosaurs ride, and they're looking at adding a whole lot of Encanto stuff, including like an explorable casita from Encanto.
What?
Yeah. So that'll be really cool, and
I'll be the one that dies in the sand room.
In the Tree of Life, there's actually going to be a Zootopia show now, which I believe there was a Bug's Life show there before, but it's going to be a Zootopia show now.
Nice.
Over at Hollywood Studios, we're getting a whole Monsters, Inc. land, and we're finally getting the door ride that everybody keeps talking about that they should do. Galaxy's Edge is getting a bunch of new additions. They're finally kind of repealing like this thing that they've had for Galaxy's Edge forever, where it has to fit a specific era because of that whole resort thing that they had going with like the intergalactic cruise. What's that?
Are they dropping the cruise thing?
Oh yeah, that was an announcement they made a long time ago.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
The whole cruise thing just
they fucked that one up bad.
Yeah, it just wasn't making the money back that they needed it to make in order to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the really cool things that they announced was for the Millennium Falcon ride, Smuggler's Run, they're going to introduce a new mission on that ride. So you actually go on a mission when you're on that ride. There's going to be a new mission that has Mando and Grogu in it.
Nice.
And then Epcot is doing some stuff too with a new... Basically, they redid the test track ride, and they're doing new stuff for Spaceship Earth and stuff like that.
Now, it says, an enduring legacy of Spaceship Earth, Epcot's iconic geometric sphere and attraction. Does that mean it's still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, did they take that away?
No,
you can't just take that away.
No.
Okay.
And over at Disneyland, which I don't care about as much because there's no way I'm getting over to Disneyland, but they're getting a whole new Avatar section in the Adventure Park.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I was about to say, specifically Adventure Park for this one, but go ahead.
Yeah. They are expanding Avengers Campus, which I'm just straight up fucking jealous.
Mm-hmm.
But because of way licensing and rights work, when it comes to the parks in Florida, Disney doesn't have the rights to put Marvel stuff in their parks in Florida. So they can't. So California gets to have all the Avengers Campus and all the new expansions.
That's crazy, though. That's weird.
Yeah. There's going to be a new Stark Fight Lab, which has you using robotic arms to like do stuff and all that good stuff. Disneyland is also getting like a Coco area, which
I'm fucking down for that.
That ride is being described as a mashup of Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hell yeah.
So it's kind of like a Haunted Mansion ride if it were a river ride, like Pirates of the Caribbean is, which is neat. They're also getting Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Once again, just jealous. Like as I read all these things, I'm just getting angry and angry that we're not getting them over in Florida.
I think it's funny though that they're doing it in what used to be Critter Country, but they have a Louisiana section.
Yeah, with the Blue Bayou and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Which
it astonishes me that hasn't become just like straight up taken over by Princess the Frog already. But
maybe maybe just through their course of changing everything around. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's inevitable. It's a matter of when rather than a matter of if. But that's pretty much everything that came out of D23 that I care to talk about.
On the emotional roller coaster. Since we're talking about roller coaster, let's go on an emotional roller coaster. So we got Cartoon Network. The website shut down.
Yeah.
I know a lot of. I know I would have freaked out if it would have happened to me. If I was going to go to the Cartoon Network website and it was just gone. But apparently, it is redirecting people to Max,
which is insane to me.
Insane. I think that. I think we already knew that they were going to move all of their stuff over to Max, all their old stuff. But it's kind of like, okay, well, what about your new stuff? I don't want Cartoon Network to go away.
Right.
But, there are things behind that and everything. However, now for the up on that. So we got new shows coming out from Cartoon Network. So it's looking like we're getting things like regular show. We're getting new Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Which that announcement right there, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends getting like new episodes or a new spin-off or whatever it is. Like, yeah. That's crazy to me, but I love it.
Yeah, it would be. It is a spin-off, and it's Foster's Fun Time for Imaginary Friends, and apparently it is centered around imaginary friends that have been thought up by preschoolers.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah. And then there's new Adventure Time stuff, which, I can never get enough of. But the stuff that they have is it's Adventure Time Side Quest, which is set around the time of, I believe it's set around the time of Kid Finn. So there's that. And then we have a BMO show. What's it called? A Heyo BMO. Adventure Time Heyo BMO. And it is just a show about BMO.
Yeah.
But they're calling it a preschool series. So I'm not... I
feel like a lot of this stuff is being aimed at preschool right now. You've got the Fun Time, Foster's Fun Time, obviously being aimed at the younger audience.
Right.
With Adventure Time being the spin-off being the side quest being Kid Finn. Obviously, that's aimed at a younger audience. This BMO thing is being advertised as younger audience. I feel like that's what a lot of these shows are going for now.
And then we have Untitled Regular Show Project, which will not be aimed at kids.
No.
The regular show cannot be aimed at kids. If it does, they'll lose half of its charm.
Yes.
And there's not a lot coming out on that, but it seems like a lot of fun. So again, we're on Variety. So the Annecy presentation. So they're talking about the bunch of stuff that's coming out. They're still doing Teen Titans Go. The 400th episode is coming up. They're doing a Gremlins cartoon, I guess. Something called Invincible Fight Girl, which is a professional wrestling themed anime series. Bat Family, which is from it's a spin-off from Merry Little Batman. I'd never seen any of those.
Merry Little Batman was hilarious. It was
I
good
didn't
stuff.
watch that.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm fucking excited for. They did a tease of a pre-production for The Amazing World of Gumball. I believe I've said on this show before that I miss Gumball. I wish we'd never lost it.
Sure.
A lot of stuff. They talked about the Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim. Batman Caped Crusader, which I still need to watch. Go Mystery Machine. It is a, quote, while visiting Japan on the ultimate foodie adventure, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo unwittingly unleash hundreds of mischievous mythical monsters that are now causing trouble all over the country. So it's a Scooby-Doo meets anime.
What was that other Scooby-Doo show where it was just Shaggy and Scooby and like they had unleashed a bunch of monsters?
Seems to be a thing that they do.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's not newer though, right?
It's very old. I think it was the one where Shaggy had a red shirt, which was like weird.
Oh yeah, that is odd. I don't know. Did they run around with the Dummy Do? Whatever
Maybe.
The fuck his name was. Did they turn into monsters at some point too?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Anyways,
13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, or 13 Ghosts with Scooby-Doo. Yeah, like Shaggy had a... Well, no, it was like a whole little series, and like they had like a different episode for each one of the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts... Okay, from Wikipedia. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo is an American animated television series produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions and was the 7th incarnation of the Scooby-Doo franchise.
Huh.
and the plot was the gang were thrown off course in a trip to Honolulu in Daphne's plane, landing instead in the Himalayas. And while inside a temple, Scooby and Shaggy are tricked into two bumbling ghosts named Weird and Boggle into opening the chest of demons, a magical artifact that housed the 13 most terrifying and powerful ghosts and demons to ever walk the earth. And basically, the series was Shaggy, Scooby, and then sometimes Daphne was there with Scrappy Doo, and then there was a young kid named Flim Flam,
Jesus,
which was a very of the time representation of like an Indian kid. So yeah, this looks like the anime version of that to me, but like it also looks like they're doing kind of their own thing, and thank God they're doing something other than Velma, because the Velma show was not great.
Yeah. So I will say that this is the thing. This is the thing that a lot of people probably would not expect out of me. I'm excited for this fucking show. It looks awesome.
I would have guessed that.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, but like for me here, like, okay, before I made the other comparison, like the first comparison I may have made is just like, oh, it's like a Scooby-Doo isekai. And like you eat isekais up.
Oh, eat them up.
Yeah. So like it doesn't surprise me at all that like, oh, Shaggy and Scooby are in some weird Japanese world with weird Japanese monsters. Yes, please.
You see that little sushi monster? I say little, but it's like the biggest thing in there. Sushi monster is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love the Japanese pickup truck look that they gave this particular Mystery Machine.
Yeah, it's like it's like if the Mystery Machine and Truck Coon had a baby.
Right. Also, I'm pretty sure that dog in there, the little
Shiba Inu.
Yeah, I think that's Scooby's uncle.
Oh, okay.
Daisuke.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Yep. It's like they're completely different breeds of dogs, but you know what? Dogs are a little wibbly wobbly when it comes to stuff like that. So.
And honestly, I've called people uncle who aren't related to me at all in my lifetime. So,
but apparently the Doo family is worldwide. So,
yeah,
Scooby's a talking dog. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I want that character to be voiced by Ken Watanabe, though.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Next up, they're doing a Adventure Time movie, a full-on movie.
Yeah,
and they're bringing back some of the old people. Rebecca Sugar is coming back for this. Pluto is coming back for this.
Patrick McHale.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. What is this? A family movie project called Bad Karma. It looks to be a fantasy kind of thing. Don't really have a lot to go off of, but sure.
Demon Princess Chandra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then a show called Lovey Dovey. No, is that a movie or a show? Anyways, I'm thinking it's a show. This is specifically a Warner Brothers animation, though, not a Cartoon Network. But it's a romantic wedding.
Yeah, this definitely is not Cartoon Network. This is more of a HBO sort of thing. Especially seeing as how just now reading the... I'm going to read, because it's like 2 sentences off of Variety. It reads, a romantic wedding dove in search of his one true love gets stuck with a bunch of streetwise pigeons whose only goal is to screw the large bird from a popular kids' TV show. Like, that's definitely not a kids' show. Definitely not Cartoon Network.
Huh. No. Funny.
It kind of reminds me of that pigeon dating sim that got popular a while ago. I forget what it was called.
But yeah, that's it for cartoons. Cartoon Network specifically, I should say.
Hatoful Boyfriend, by the way. I had to look it up, but Hatoful Boyfriend is the pigeon bird dating sim.
My
God.
God.
Hilarious.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, the Cartoon Network's doing a lot. Disney's doing a lot, but when are they not doing a lot?
Sure.
Yeah, it's there are things that I don't like, but all in all, it's a good time to be a geek. Between this episode and last episode, with everything that's coming out, like all the Disney stuff, all the San Diego Comic-Con stuff, all the newer tabletop games that are coming out, it's a good time.
Can I say this, though? I halfway agree. I think it's a good time to be a geek, but it's also a bad time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people now are seeing that it's a good time to be a geek. So now they are looking to capitalize on it being a good time being a geek. So they're doing everything they fucking can to try to get our fucking money.
That's very true.
I don't mind spending money on things that I like, but when you do these things to where you try to monetize everything, every little aspect of my enjoyment, that's where the problem comes in. That where you see the direction that Wizard of the Coast is going. You see the direction all these streaming services are going.
Like when Cartoon Network had a bunch of free cartoons that you could watch on all their old stuff, and now it redirects you to Max, where you have to pay for a subscription to watch the same cartoons you used to be able to watch for free on the website that just got taken down.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, there is that. To that, I say there's always the indie games, and when it comes to the stuff that they want to charge you an arm and a leg to watch, yo-ho.
Yo-ho.
But that being said, support the creators where you can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's just once the corporations get a little greedy, yo-ho.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be it for this episode of Casters Guild. Email us. Let us know what new show or movie that's coming out that you're excited about. Join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.